what's your book on?
The book is about racing.
And are you trying to get it published, or you already have a deal, or
I'm
what's
trying to
the?
get it published. And I'm
Okay,
interviewing race drivers on the phone to make sure I get all the facts right.
okay. Well, what can I do for you?
I have some questions that I hope you can answer honestly from my book, if you're okay with that.
I can try. Is this a good time to do it?
This is a really good time.
Okay.
So, what is life after racing like? Like, what are you doing today?
That needs no introduction. The spin and win from 1985 was Danny Sullivan's victory. And what I didn't realize was that number one, he's going to be here in Vegas, and number two, you're a bike collector, man.
Absolutely. Well, my first bike was a Lawwell, and through that I met Mert Lawwell, and I've collected a Vincent Black Shadow, and I'm trying to put that for sale. But I've met the most interesting guy, my new friend Shane Cahill, who's an amputee, but he created with Mert this unbelievable downhill bike racer. And I think he ought to tell a story of how he got this and the things that he and Mert have created.
Hello, hey, yeah, I'm just happy to be here on the behalf of Mert's Hands. These hands to me mean everything. They give me the ability to get out and achieve some of the goals that I used to have back in the day, racing BMX bikes and street bike racing. Found out that I had to dig deep to find out what my real passion was, because being an amputee, there's dark times, and these Mert hands are pretty much everything to me. The Mert's hands are very straightforward. It's a ball and socket design. You snap in, and there's detents that you can adjust on how easy or hard it is to snap the Mert hand in. And as far as the braking, spent 2 months in my garage to devise this brake system here. By using a simple shoulder action, I'm able to engage the brake, which works seamlessly. And as far as the shifting, on the end of the bar ends here, you'll see there's little sprinter switches, and all I do is rotate the Mert's hands to shift. And I just can't say enough about these Mert's hands. They've helped relieve like any anxiety and depression that I've had. This is one thing I can do. I can get out on the trails, something I can do all by myself without the assistance of anybody else. And it's really my dirt church.
Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. And to find out more about this, you need to go to mertlawwell.com. Mert Lawwell Concepts actually came up with this entire concept for Shane, and thanks to Danny Sullivan for being with us.
All right, Stephen, thank you very much.
Well, if you want to know exactly, I've got some guys working in the driveway trying to fix some pavers. But I have just some a business I'm taking care of. I work in various businesses and have a digital media business, and we just got one contract today, and we're trying to raise some funds on some other issues, and just this and that. I live in California, and so just working, been up, had to take the dogs out, all that sort of stuff. So just normal life, and anxious to see how things go down in Daytona, because this is a 24-hour, and they had a big dinner last night in honor of Chip Ganassi, so just sent some texts down to Chip and some of the boys on congratulations. So just normal everyday life.
Cool. I'm a filmmaker.
All right, you're based in Scottsdale, or?
Yeah, I'm based in Scottsdale.
Okay. Good for you. Would I know any of your films?
Well, I'm just starting out. I recently started my career about a few months ago.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Well, good for you. You're out of high school, and are you in university?
I'm in a university, yeah. And I'm also training under an actor that lives in California, Andy McPhee.
Okay. I've heard the name.
Cool.
Good for you.
Thank you, man.
Sounds like you got a lot. What else do you need to know?
What was on your mind when Mario's engine broke down while leading Indianapolis in 1987?
Now you see, I think that was a glance at Mario possibly starting for the pits. Mario on the right of your screen, he's not starting for the pits.
Oh my goodness, it's happened again.
It has happened.
It has happened again, and you can hear the crowd responding. Lady Luck has reared what is to Mario her ugly head at Indianapolis again.
That shows, don't count your chickens till they hatch. The bad luck has followed Mario again. This is kind of sad in many ways.
It looked so good for so long, and there now is the leader, and Katie knows it as Roberto Guerrero tries to turn his bridesmaid status into that of a champion.
That's astounding, but this is Indianapolis. This is racing luck. This is what we talked about all day, but remember another thing, it isn't over yet. The end of this race doesn't happen until it's really over.
Car number 4 goes to the top of the leaderboard. Roberto Guerrero is the man in control. Who's chasing Guerrero? Al Unser Sr. in car number 25.
Another thing to keep in mind now, it always gets exciting to the end. Al Unser, my brother, has made his last pit stop. Roberto has yet one stop to make. We don't know how that's going to come out yet.
So the real pressure here now is going to be on the Guerrero pit crew, and these will be nervous moments of anticipation for them as they await the chance to do their job. Al Unser Sr. has made his last pit stop. He will stay on the track when Roberto Guerrero comes in. You've got 20 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500, and suddenly a race which belonged lock, stock, and barrel to Mario Andretti is a little bit more competitive. If something happens to Guerrero and Al Unser Sr. wins this race, you can make a strong case for him as the greatest Indianapolis 500 driver of all time.
Well, Al still has a chance of winning it. This race is not over. That's the neat thing about Indianapolis. This doggone thing doesn't end until the checkered flag falls.
Al Sr. has won more money at Indy than anyone else. He's led 595 laps at Indy, only 18 short of the record. He's finished in the top 5 10 times. He is the man, I'm sure, of those remaining on the track that Guerrero least wants to see chasing him in this situation. Here comes Roberto. Let's watch the pit stop.
All right, this will be interesting to see, Jim. They better not make mistakes now. He has a chance of winning this race. Now's the important time. Everything in racing comes down to the very last part.
Now there's second place, Al Unser Sr. And he is still out on the track, remember, as Guerrero makes the pit stop.
No adjustments for Roberto so far.
The critical thing here for Roberto to get out of the pits before Al Sr. makes it back around on the front straight.
Al Sr. is going down the back stretch. Now he's going into turn 3. You know that's in Roberto's mind. This pit stop is dragging on there.
Kill the engine. Roberto killed the engine.
Stall it.
This is really going to change the outcome of this race. Roberto's engine, he's got it going. Off, Jim.
They're going to be very close. They're going to be very close. There's turn 4 in the front straight. He's going to pass him, I think.
Yeah, it's going. It's stalled again. Al Unser Sr. takes the lead in the Indianapolis 500. You've got 18 laps to go. This man has won it 3 times already in his career. He's 47 years old. He didn't have a ride until 2 weeks ago, and now Guerrero has had a taste of Andretti luck.
The crowd is going wild. They have to pull Roberto back if he goes one pit stop too far. It's even a lap penalty, if I remember right here. Al now is on the defensive. He must operate totally different. He's not chasing anybody. They're chasing him.
He is the coolest head on the track.
Now back at speed, leaving the pits. You see him there. But there goes Al going by him, so he is now a full lap down, and obviously he saw Al flash by.
All he's got to do now is finish cleanly.
Jim, I still want to caution everybody. This is the Indianapolis 500. You can't tell what's going to happen. We've had an extremely exciting race, especially at the last year. More action than you can believe. But Al is on the defensive. He must keep everything together, but he can do it.
He could have had even more than 4 wins. He was second in 1983. There's Mario finally coming back out into the race. He's going to finish it, perhaps, but only as an also-ran today. Unser Sr. was second behind Tom Sneva in 83. He was in the hunt in the last 10 laps. His son, Al Unser Jr., tried to block Sneva, or at least create some dirty air for him to give him a chance to win. It didn't quite pay off.
Al Jr. is in 4th place. We could have a good Unser day here before we're through.
I think you've already had a pretty good Unser day, Bobby. And perhaps to a certain degree the story of the decade at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 47-year-old Al Al Unser Sr. was without a ride in this race until 2 weeks ago. He was given the car that Danny and Gaius crashed, riding under the colors of Penske Racing. And now, Al Unser Sr. is in position to win a 4th Indianapolis 500 title, which would tie him with A.J. Foyt as the only 2 men ever to accomplish that. So Al Jr., though, what is he thinking? He roots for his father.
Well, he is rooting for him now. Little Al is running good. He's in 4th place. But I guarantee you that he's really pulling for Daddy right now. Now we have a yellow flag.
Yellow flag with 8 laps to go. Very strong feelings about what is about to happen to him right here.
Well, he's in good shape right now, Jim. He's got Johnny Rutherford right behind him. The pack will go around and get behind him. Unless he has a mechanical problem, Al will get by the finish line. He'll be all right.
Try to hang in here, Bobby. Al Jr. tried to protect his dad from Tom Sneva. Is there anything he can do when they come back green to help make sure that his dad will win this race? He won it in 1970 racing for Parnelli Jones. Again in 1971, he was the last man to repeat. He won it in a chaparral in 1978. He has not won it in 9 years, but he was 2nd in 83, 5th in 82, 3rd in 84, 4th in 85. And now it looks like he's going to add 1st in 1987.
And with that incredible record behind him, Jim, still, when I stood next to Al when he went out to qualify and put this car in the show 2 weeks ago, as he put his earpieces in, we see him coming up to 1 lap. His hands are shaking so badly, he could barely get his earpieces in. So no one is ever immune to the pressures of this place, and I don't think on this last lap that he's immune to it either in that cockpit. Do you?
Boy, Karen doesn't want to look. Karen doesn't want to look.
Face that tells you the story. She just crossed her fingers. She got everything crossed. She just praying to God that he can make it around the rest of this last remaining lap.
He's in the short chute between turns 1 and 2.
Going down
the back stretch. Now he's into turn 3.
He can coast from there, right? Just about.
When he comes off of turn 4, he could slide across.
That's Chris Mears, Rick Mears' wife, hugging Karen. And now here it is. Your brother, Al Unser, joins A.J. Foyt as one of only 2 men ever to win the Indianapolis 500 4 times in his life.
That is fabulous. That is absolutely fabulous. I just cannot believe it.
Bobby, congratulations. That is simply fantastic.
Thank you.
That's just great.
This has been a day. This makes up for Robbie getting his leg broken.
Next to him, you have to assume they exchanged a wave somewhere. And there's Little Al. Little Al pulls up next to his dad.
He's happy for his father right now, guarantee you.
Little Al hasn't won yet, but this may not be the last Unser victory by any means in the Indy 500.
Oh, I don't think it will be. But the important thing is we have a 4-time winner in the Unser family. Al's done a marvelous job today.
You got a chance now to talk to your brother.
Al, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bobby.
I just want you to know the family is proud of you. That was neat.
I'll tell you what, it's a great feeling. It really is, Bobby. And as you know, and I'm glad we're here.
Moved up next to his dad to offer his special congratulations for a job well done.
When Mario's engine let down in 87, you're not talking about the year I won, correct?
No, not the year you won, but I will ask you something about that in a little bit.
Okay. Well, look, I think that anybody you're competing against, and Mario is always a tough competitor, okay? And the Andrettis have a great record at Indy for leading laps, for being competitive, for being fast. Obviously, they would have liked to have had a better winning ratio to their their leading ratio. So you always, I want to say fear, but you always are concerned about a very competitive, driver and team. And of course, Mario, with Newman Haas, with all that, is a super competitive team as well. So, but when somebody goes out, in some certain ways, it's like, wow, okay, well, I don't have to deal with him, and he's going to be a threat, or is a threat, or was a threat, or whatever. But there again, you don't like to, me personally, I don't like to wish ill will on anybody, because I figure there's karma, and that's going to come back to haunt me, okay?
Yeah.
And so, as much as you're elated that there's one down, one less serious competitor to try to, when you're trying to win, but to the same extent, you want to race guys and beat them fair and square, and win with a full field. So, it's a mixed bag of emotions.
Yeah. The Andrettis are cursed there, they say.
Yeah, Mario won it one time. I won it one time. Some guys won it 2, 3, or, a couple of them 4 times, but, one win still, you're still an Indy 500 champion.
Yep.
And it was probably unfortunate with the career that Michael had, with all his wins and so forth, that he didn't win, an Indy 500, but, it wasn't meant to be, now he's won it as an owner, but I'm sure that's not quite the same as he would have liked to have won it personally.
Yeah, for sure. What was on your mind when you spun out while leading the race in '85, and how did it feel afterwards when you made that remarkable comeback to still win the race?
Sullivan stays wide enough to the right, hits nothing.
And I came up, finally got by him, came up along the inside. Mario just, he just turned. And if you look at it, we almost look like we're just in, fighter planes in formation going down.
Side by side, Sullivan has the lead. Danny Sullivan, Kentucky, and just at that moment, losing control of the car, doing a magnificent job of not hitting the wall and continuing in the race.
Whatever it was the white line, what they paint a lot, or, the camber change, whatever, came back up, just tripped the car, got it moving just a little. Of course, you're not running hardly any wind, any downforce on these things anyway. Just started sliding, tried to correct it, and it started to bite at the front. Turned it back, lost the car, was, swearing, finally getting the lead at the Indianapolis 500. Going to hit the wall, not thinking, I'm mad, because what a dumb mistake, and smoke cleared, and I was facing turn 2 sweep.
The incredible move maybe ever in Indianapolis, and Mario didn't hit him.
Danny spins, and I see just a big cloud, and I just made that decision to just go to the left, and it proved to be the obvious correct one. But it was not skill that avoided that collision. Just a lot of luck.
He had to be very aware and on top of his game not to collect both of us, and I'm glad he didn't. I'm sure he is too.
The new American hero is Daniel John Sullivan III of Louisville, Kentucky, who has won the Indianapolis 500.
Well, here's the thing for me. Obviously, I was very pissed off to lose control of the car, and like most people, including Mario and anybody else, it just seemed like I was going to hit the wall. Okay, because that's invariably what happens at Indy. And luck was on my side in that spin. But be honest with you, although you're, happy that you pulled it off, you got to be right. I had to be right back in the game and radio in and tell Derek that I needed tires, from the spin. And I didn't need to explain to him the spin because that's, just you got to stay focused on the business and so forth. And then, because everything was okay, made the pit stop, had to make sure I didn't make any mistakes in the pit stop, get out and go. Everything was, you just had to stay focused on the race. It's like, okay, now I could, hey, morning. You could, I just had to stay focused on the race and put that behind me for the time being and not dwell on what it was. Now, afterwards I could think about it and analyze it and pinch myself how lucky I was and so forth. But in reality, you had to stay in the game right there. So I didn't really have much time to think about it.
Cool. Who is your best friend in the garages?
Becomes the third four-time winner of the Indianapolis 500.
That race meant so much, and for several reasons. First of all, I'd already been, considering thinking about retirement a little bit at that point, and so I knew I was getting close to the end of my career, and so that may be, one of the last opportunities you get. So that made it special. Being the fourth one, and like I said earlier on, you live and learn and you realize how difficult it is. Each one of them become more gratifying. And then to have a good shootout with Michael. I always geared for a shootout, but they never really, of the four, that was the only one that shootout materialized. And that's what racing's about for me. That's the fun part, having the shootout at the end and come out on top. That by far is more satisfying to me than having a two-lap lead. So all of that combined, it just really made the fourth one very special.
Well, my best friend in the garage, obviously I was very close to my teammate, Rick Mears. But our era was a little bit different. I was close with a lot of people there and friendly with a lot of people, but we were also a very competitive group. And later on, kind of the next generation that came, everybody, Jimmy Vassar and Dario and Helio and Tony Kanaan and the late Greg Moore, all those guys were all really, Max Pappas, those guys were all big buddies. They traveled together, they did everything together. Our group was not quite that way. Now, a lot of that is geography because we all lived in different corners of the world and the United States, and it made it geographically more difficult. But we were a very competitive group, and Mario I'd known and helped me. He helped me salvage my career. He put in a good word for me and really helped out. So I'd known Mario for a long time, and but when you're competitive and you got different sponsors and you got different responsibilities, and sometimes you might have a different engine manufacturer. It was more difficult for everybody just to be real pal. Now you see people and hello and friendly and talk to them and do some stuff. And every now and again you got Michael play golf with somebody or this, that, and the other. But I was closer with different people, but not necessarily the drivers.
Cool. And who was your favorite competitor that you raced against?
there was some back markers, and Junior was boxed. He come out of the toe. I was on the inside line already, and we went side by side into turn 3.
He came on lap traffic, and you know, he got on the inside of me, and you know, 2 guys went into turn 3, and only 1 was going to come out, and it wasn't me.
And now Emo has a lap and a half.
Here we go, here he goes
Emo
past.
on the inside. Here comes Emo. He blocks him down low.
Emo didn't like
that. And they're still
that.
side by side going into turn 3. Emo down low in the middle of the track, and Emo may have it. They almost touch
they did touch.
wheels. And into the wall is Al Jr. Emo continues on.
I look to Junior's car, and he was looking to me, and you know, when you put your head down and you want to move fast, when you overtake someone, and I could see Junior was doing like this with the helmet I was doing, and I'm thinking myself, I'm not going to back off in turn 3. I'm going to take flat. And I'm sure Junior was thinking this exactly the same.
Little Al looked over to see Fittipaldi there. He kept his foot down, went into the corner, turned in, stayed well above the line.
And side by side, I lost the backhand, the car slide. I just hit Al Junior, and I was lucky that I didn't crash.
And I was okay. I got out of the car and you know, took off my helmet, and I started heading out towards the track. And safety crewman, he stepped in front of me. He goes, "Al, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going out to the track." And he goes, "What, you want to flip him off?" And I went, "Yeah." You know, like duh. And he stepped aside. Go right ahead, you know. And so I went out onto the track, and with the full intention of telling him and showing him exactly what I thought about what had happened. You know, Emerson led basically the entire day. You know, I mean, he led it, and he was coming around to get the checkered flag for his first Indy 500. It was about winning. You know, he didn't do anything intentionally. And so I gave him thumbs up and clapped my hands and gave him thumbs up, and told him that was the best slide job that anybody ever gave me.
Well, you know, I'm going to be totally honest. This was a great era for racing. We're talking IndyCar, correct?
IndyCar, yeah.
Okay. I assume most of the questions are centered around IndyCar. I was honored to be in a great, very competitive group of drivers in maybe one of the most competitive eras of IndyCar. Okay.
Okay.
If you go down and look at the list from Mario and Michael and Al Jr. and Rick and Ray Hall and Lyondike and Emerson Fittipaldi and Floyd and John, you know, the list just goes on and on. I'm leaving guys out from, you know, that came in, Roberto Guerrero, you know, Kogan at some stages was, you know, all these guys some guys would get on a run for 2 or 3 races and be super competitive, so would a team. You know, the list just went on and on. And I think, for me, here's the indicator of how good the rules were, how competitive the field was. On most cases, when you showed up at a race, the first 20 to 22 cars were covered by 1 second, even on a road course. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a really, really competitive field. Not only does it show that the drivers are competitive, but it shows the teams are competitive. Now, let's not forget what year was it? You're going to know better than I am, but 94, maybe 93, no, was it 94? No.
Which race are you talking about? I think I can remember.
Yeah, when neither Penske qualified.
95.
95, okay? And yet a journalist from Japan qualified and stuff like that, okay? I mean, that just, for me, just showed how competitive that era of IndyCar racing was, you know? And, you know, when you're racing against people like Emerson Fittipaldi, and I'm not just picking Emerson, because they all were, you know, whether it's Ray Hall, Mears was probably the best oval driver ever, you know, he was just phenomenal on an oval, you know, but he was also very, very, very good on road courses. I mean, he won the race out at Laguna Seca even after his feet were all torn up, or his foot was all torn up. So, you know, you're in an era where the teams and the drivers, the pit stops, the engine, you know, everything was so competitive, so competitive. And, you know, I look back on that, and somebody asked me one time, well what made, you know, you so famous? And I don't look at myself as famous, but I'm just saying what made, and I said, really, it was the people that I raced against. I didn't just spin and win the Indy 500. I spun racing Mario Andretti. That's the Mario Andretti, you know.
Yeah.
And no, that's no disrespect to anybody else that would have been out there in the field, but you're racing Mario Andretti for the lead of the Indianapolis 500. And I think I was the last, or one of the last, or for a long period of time, it was a cover of Sports Illustrated. And if you look at the picture, it was myself, Mario, and Emerson Fittipaldi. There's 2 world champions in there, multiple Indy 500 winners in there. You know, just look at the sports car, the record in that photograph. You know, that's for me, that's a mega era to, you know, to be in. And I look around, I'm sitting in my office, I look around at trophies and different things and the memories, but a lot of that is the people that I raced against. You know?
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
The last question I have is, how has Penske Racing evolved? And then this is talking about his NASCAR team. There's 2 race drivers that he has that are really controversial, like Brad and Joey. And how has Penske evolved, in your opinion?
How has he involved what?
How has he evolved? How has Penske Racing changed?
Well, you know, Rogers had some, you know, probably. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of people that when I signed for Penske questioned, you know, why me? You know, why Danny? You know, I wasn't a big IndyCar name or anything like that. I'd only done a couple races. I'd done a season, but I'd won 3 races. But I mean, I wasn't a big, you know, established star in IndyCar racing. But Rogers had, you know, guys that were controversial. Paul Tracy had his controversies. Al Jr. had some of his during his career.
Yeah.
You know, Joey, Brad. You know, you can say they've got some controversies around them and so forth. But the one thing that Roger always picks is winners.
Yeah, I've heard that.
He doesn't want people that aren't going to win. Okay, and that doesn't mean he wants guys that'll get the job done with the sponsors and the corporate involvement and he doesn't want guys that are just out there real controversial, causing all kinds of problems and stuff like that. But if you're a winner, Roger will, he'll take some of that other stuff with it. He wants somebody that's going to win races. And the great part about driving for Roger Penske is Roger wants it as bad, if not worse, than you do. Okay? And at one stage Roger was the best sports car driver in the world, and so he understands it also from a driver's perspective. If things are going wrong, it's out of the driver's hands. He understands it, and he gets it. But Roger also understands the big picture, the corporate world, guys that are young, that get the job done, that can meet the sponsors' requirements, that are, that do the right thing. But ultimately, Win races, and if you win in races, you win a championship. That's how he looks at it. The race wins is the most important thing. Championships will follow.
Wasn't Tom Sneva another controversial driver from the 70s, kinda?
You know, I really wasn't that involved in that era. I raced some against Tom, but I raced against Tom more at toward the closing of his career.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had some, some issues, I think, that I've read about just the way you have, but Tom's okay. I mean, he's just, he's a wild man in some ways, and will, say a lot, but Roger saw in him probably that he could, he was fast and he could win races. Hey, Bobby Unser, I mean, he had some controversies around him, but he won a lot of races for Roger. So, you just look at that stuff and say, hey, whatever. It's again, it comes back to the thing, are you going to win races for Roger Penske?
Yeah.
He'll take it to a point, but are you going to win races? Is that the guy that's the best guy out there for me to win races?
Yeah.
That he can get, if that makes sense. Because sometimes the guy might be at another team, but he's just not available, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't blame Roger for picking winners, because, that's what's going to keep the team going, is picking winners.
Yeah, that's I mean, look, every driver that I've known wants to drive for Roger because they know they're going to have a chance to win. One of the toughest decisions I made in my career was leaving Doug Shears and Domino Pizza Hot One, leaving that team. Great group of guys, Dennis Swan, all the boys that were there. We won 3 races in really what was my first year in IndyCar, first full season in IndyCar. Great group of guys, great people. But when I looked at it, I thought, okay, who's got the long-term longevity to win races in a championship? And Roger made an offer to me, and it was kind of like, okay, where's the strongest for my future? For winning, and that it was a tough decision. To leave a team that in your first full year you win 3 races, and to leave that's a tough decision. Trust me. And they were good guys. They were good guys. They were strong. They were winners, and believe me, that was not an easy step.
Yeah, I bet not. I hear that they later won the 500 in 1990 with Arie Luyendyk, I think.
Yeah, they won a lot of races. Al Jr., Arie, they did a great job. They were a super team. But I just think for me, for long term, Roger was the best. So, anyway. Hey, listen, I got to go run some errands, okay?
Thank you.
I hope you good luck with your book and your film, and good luck to you.
Thanks, sir. And I want to make a promise before you go. I will not publish your phone number on any sort of anything on the internet. I will not publish or give away your number.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Anytime.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.